Hi there, I'm Lee Skinner and thank you for watching this video presentation. Now in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how my clients are losing from 7 to 20 kilos and boosting their energy. Now this is basically without restrictive dieting, counting calories, and whilst only exercising just 90 minutes per week. My clients are going through some major transformations by doing just this thing. No dieting, no counting calories, no having to weigh in food, and just exercising 90 minutes per week. And I'm going to show you exactly how they are doing that. Now, a lot of people speak to me about wanting some help with their weight loss, getting back in shape again, and they mention a lot of things that they've been experiencing in the past and what's holding them back and what's frustrating them. Now, a lot of people mention to me that they're lacking time, they have a busy lifestyle, so they don't have the time to make this change in their life. So they're not sure how to do it. They're confused with the correct strategy that they have. They're hearing about follow this system and follow this program and do this diet and try this and try that. And it actually doesn't work. So they're confused about what to do. The market is confusing them. A lot of people are also they're lacking energy every day. They get up, they don't have the energy to do what they want to do. And they're wondering, how can I actually achieve what I want to achieve, get through my work, look after my family, exercise at the same time, and track my food and all these kind of things. And I don't have the energy to do it. I'm overwhelmed. It's a very common problem. A lot of people are lacking the results. So when they try and do these things where they go to a gym, they follow a program, they work with a personal trainer, they still don't get the results they want. So it demotivates them and they give up. Very common problem. Also trying dieting, milkshake replacement drinks and pills from the doctor and all these supplements and things where they think it's going to help them lose weight, skinny tea and all these things that you hear about, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work in the long term especially. A lot of weight comes back and sometimes you can lose 5 kilos or 6 kilos and it comes back 10 or 12, which is a big problem. So if you're here because you've been trying these things and you're frustrated, then you're definitely in the right place, okay? So let's dive straight in. My name is Lee Skinner. Nice to meet you. I'm a body transformation coach and a health and nutrition coach. And for the last 23 years, I've been helping people get back in great shape again. I have 23 years of qualifications, education, and experience in this field. Like I say, I'm helping executives, high performers, consultants, entrepreneurs basically get back in shape again after years of neglect. Now, we all know how easy that is with our kids and our family. We can basically, stop prioritizing ourselves and our health, and we're focusing just on work and other things in our lives. And we turn around 5, 10 years later, 15 years later, and we realize that we've just got in some seriously bad shape and we need to do something about it immediately. Now, if you want to have more energy for your family, maybe to feel good or to feel confident about your body, one of the first things you've got to do is start to look into the reason why you want to do this. What is your why? I know what mine is, and I think it's very important for us to understand what that is. Because when you go to your local gym, when you start certain programs and start doing certain things in life, we lose track and focus because we're not really focusing on or have a clear understanding on why we're doing it. We just know we've got to look after ourselves. And that's not a really good enough reason. We've got to dig deeper than that because that's going to help us stick to a process and a program to get where we want to be. So whatever your reason may be, it could be like in this picture here, for example. You could be a mother and you want to be in great shape for your children because you know it's hard work. I have 3 kids. I know what it's like. And as you can see from the picture on the right with the guy as well, I want to be a great role model to my family and to my kids. I want them to not just listen to what I say, even though they don't always do that, but I definitely want them to watch what I do and learn from that, okay? And be a good role model. Very, very important. So maybe you want to have more energy for your family, to feel good in yourself, be more confident in your body, right? Be a great mother or father and a husband and wife. And to do that, we've got to be in good shape. If you want to live happily and healthily for your children and have that energy for them, for example, and maybe you have older children and you want to be there for your grandchildren, then we've got to start looking after ourselves and being in good shape, right? Maybe your why is all about you. Maybe it's not necessarily about your children, even though some of it is, of course. Maybe you've been through a bad experience, a rough patch, a divorce. And I hear people say this to me, men and women say this to me on a regular basis. Lee, I've just gone through a divorce, a rough patch. I want to move into a new chapter in my life. I've been drinking too much, eating too much, comfort food, not taking care of my body and not being good to myself. And I want to start doing that. And now is the time because I'm in my 40s, approaching my 50s or even in my 50s. And I have to take this turn in my life. and I need some help doing it. People come to me for that reason. So maybe that can relate to you. Maybe you can relate to that. It's something I hear on a regular basis. If that sounds like you, you're definitely in the right place. So let me ask you this. I want to get very clear on something because it's very important to understand where you are right now and where you want to be, or where you are right now and where you could possibly be. Because let's put it this way. Think about where you are right now and why you're on this video, right? Are you 1, 2, 5 years, 10 years time, where are you going to be? If you carry on the same path as you are right now, eating, drinking, whatever your thing is, gaining weight, not feeling strong, being unhealthy, worrying about diabetes and other heart diseases and things like that, and stress-related diseases, where are you going to be from today to 1, 2, 5, or even 10 years time? Where's that going to take you? Are you going to be in a worse place? Because a lot of people come to me and they do end up in a worse place. They're like, Lee, what's happened in the last few years? So think about it. If you're 10 kilos overweight right now, for example, in another 2 years time or 3 years time or 5 years time, you could be another 10 to 15 kilos overweight. And where is that going to take you? That's something you obviously don't want. You see, people don't start at 10 kilos, 15 kilos, 25, 30 kilos overweight, right? They start at, say, 3, 5, and 7. And then, of course, they start to think, oh, I've got to do something about this. They leave it another year. Something goes on. Something happens. They change jobs. A bad experience can happen in their life. They could lose someone they love. All these things have a shocking effect on the body and the metabolism and the hormones. So what can happen is the weight can start to gradually increase. And this makes it much harder to come off. Because the reason for that is simply because the body starts to adapt. The fat storing state starts to kick in. You're starting to tell your body that you want to store fat. And then it just happens much faster. The metabolism starts to slow down, insulin resistance kicks in, and the weight starts to go up. More belly fat, more tired. You start to crave more carbohydrates and things like that. And it all just starts to go downhill very fast. That is how people go from where you are right now to double worse. Where you are right now might be 5 kilos, could be 15 very soon, and vice versa. I think you get my point. Very important to understand. Now take a look at these clients of mine, for example, just for a moment. I want to show you a couple of examples of what people have done with me and how they got to where they were in the beginning. Because as you can see here on the left, this guy here, he was a great client. He basically lost 45 kilos in the end. Now, he didn't start off at 45 kilos, right? He basically slowly increased up to 45 kilos and then was like, whoa, I need to do something about this. I'm going to end up dying very early if I carry on like this. And I can't work properly. It's affecting my relationship with women. All sorts of things are coming up in his life. And as you can see from the picture on the right, things changed dramatically for him in his life in a very positive way once he started to get to this body weight. He's done a great job. As you can see, following the right program and system, then good things can happen. The same for my client here on the right. Not so much of a dramatic weight loss. I think 8 kilos was lost here, 7, 8 kilos. But that's because that's what she needed to lose, right? Now, when you lose that much weight, you can see the difference. What I'm noticing very much here is you see a lot of bloating and inflammation and irritation in the stomach go down. And that's something I obviously cover in my program. But one thing I really notice in these pictures that I'm going to show you is look at their faces. I mean, look at their faces from what do you see? You see people not very happy on the left to people on the right, smiling, vibrant, confident, and just enjoying life and feeling better about themselves. This is the most important thing of it all. Now, my program and what I do with people isn't a weight loss program. This is not the Biggest Loser. My goal isn't just to lose weight for people. It's to help them transform their health, their energy, their vitality, their confidence, and change and transform their lives for the better. And that shows up in their relationships, with their kids, in their work, in their businesses, whatever it may be. There's massive changes going on when we do that. As you can see here on the left, this is Nikki. She lost around 18 kilos, if I remember rightly. As you can see, a lovely picture of her and her daughter there. And as you can see on the left, there's a lot of weight gain, a lot of basically not doing good to the body, inflammation. And she openly admitted that she was making a lot of bad decisions, and she turned around after having kids. How did I get to this stage? How did I get this bad? It all happened so fast. She didn't feel in line with herself and feel very good about where she ended up, of course. And that's why she contacted me. And as you can see the picture on the left to the picture on the right, a very beautiful and happy picture of her and her child, which makes me feel excellent. It makes me feel very happy, and that's why I love my job. But very different change. And as you can see here on the right picture, what happens when you need to lose like 10 kilos or being bloated and overweight and it coming down to the picture on the right? which is a big difference, of course, as you can see, looking fantastic within a 90-day period. So last picture, do you want to show you a quick one here of a client, two different clients here. And as you can see, the centimeters from the waist. I like these pictures with the tape measure because it shows how much where they were before the circumferences. Now, if you're eating wrong, holding too much stress, and just basically not being in good shape, this is how big you can get and swollen, and you go up in clothes size, which obviously affects you in so many different ways. And what's happening here is we're reducing this a lot. And as you can see, look at the difference. It's pretty impressive. And this is what we're doing in like 90 days or less. So this is what I want to do with you also. You know, if that's something that you really need to do. Now, I want to show you and explain to you the people that I've just shown you, for example. Here's what they tried in the past before they contacted me, okay? They tried restrictive dieting, these fad diets out there, keto and all these other South Beach diet, Atkins and paleo, all these things that they tried before and they actually didn't work. That's why they come back to me. Or they worked in the short term and then all the weight come flying back again. They tried CrossFit and super high intensity classes, HIIT classes that you go into the gym, smashing yourselves into the ground, getting a bit of a sweat on and a high five. But what tends to happen then is no weight comes off. The body struggles, resists against itself, and the weight doesn't budge. A very common problem. They also try in these shake meal replacement diets. We know what they are, right? You can buy them in the health food stores where you're basically drinking your meals. And of course, what happens is it's 600 calories, 700 calories a day. The body goes into shock, weight comes down, water comes off. But what happens is the metabolism and the thyroid reduces with that, which is a very common problem. So Weight Watchers is another one. People can lose weight, but it's very common that the weight comes back again. You have the common Herbalife and eTrim and things like that, which is here in Scandinavia. Now, they're all okay, of course. They're all things that are being sold to you to get results, but what happens is common complaints I hear every day on a daily basis from men and women is the weight comes back and they don't feel good. I've had people say their hair falls out, their skin gets terrible, they stop having periods, they lose their sex drive, they get argumentative with their partners and husbands and children. It's just not a good way to go, okay? So counting calories as well is something that people try. It works, let's be honest, but the problem is it's not very sustainable for busy people in this day and age who can keep to this. Not very sustainable at all. It's quite hard, and I think only 10% of people that I ever work with actually enjoy it and stick to it. 90% of people can't do that. So let's be real. If you're going to start something that you can't keep to, then it's probably best not to start it in the first place. So many people buy another gym card, another year, another gym card. I'm going to treat myself to another gym card and I'm going to try again. What happens? You don't go back to the gym, you go for a few times and then you lose interest. Not your fault, to be honest, but you are getting what you pay for. So, you know, gyms are pretty low price, let's be honest, and what you're getting is just a facility. You're not getting much help. No one really knows your name. No one asks you how you're doing and can I come and help you? Unless you hire a personal trainer, of course, and we'll talk about that in a second. But you can go to classes. You can also try your best and get a bit sweaty doing body pump. But a lot of people don't see results from that because the body and the classes aren't designed specifically for you, your needs, your genetics, your body type, and also your goals. So it's a bit of a risky thing to think that's going to work for you. And it obviously doesn't in the long run. People that I've been speaking to as well, and I've helped also are hiring personal trainers. And why not? It's okay to hire a personal trainer, but there is a problem with that. The personal trainer can help you once or twice a week. And then what happens is you get no support, no accountability. You're not going to get what I'm going to be explaining to you in this video, that's for sure. And for the other 160 hours in the week, what happens? Nothing. You go and do your own thing. You get on with what you should be doing 9 times out of 10. You have no motivation apart from I'm going to see my trainer again in a week's time. And that's where a lot of things tend to go wrong. We need much more than a personal trainer doing the same thing with you as he does with his 10 other clients, or she does. It needs to be more personalized, more detailed to your goals, and you need to be held accountable through the whole week, not just within 2 hours doing push-ups and burpees and a high five. This is where it can go very wrong. A lot of people as well do the last one, they're running and running and running, and they're thinking this is going to help them, when actually too much running doesn't help you. It can actually cause the opposite effect. And what happens with too much running and cardio cycling, for example, the body's very smart. It kicks in what we call cardiovascular resistance, which means the body starts to fight back and says, you keep running, I'm not going to keep losing weight, but you can keep running anyway, and I'm just going to keep storing this weight because it's a survival mechanism. The body is designed to survive. And if you start straining it too much, what starts to happen is the body does fight back. So that's what they've been doing in the past. And I want to show you what they do now ever since they started working with me. And I hope you're going to like this and you can relate to it. But now they're enjoying foods, treats and snacks without too much worrying. They're able to do these things without having to jump on the scales and be paranoid about enjoying food again. They don't feel confused or lost, and that's because they have a solution. They have a roadmap designed for them, and they know they just got to follow it and do what's told, and it's going to work. They don't go into the gym wondering, shall I do this? What shall I do next? Is it working? Is it not? They know what to do. They have a process, and they just get on with it. All right. They don't have to weigh themselves every day. Who wants to do that? Because that's what people are doing a lot of. And I'm speaking to these people on a regular basis. They weigh themselves and they're seeing the weight go up and then it's going down, then it's going up, then it's going up, and it's going up. And they're just freaking out, getting paranoid, and it's very demoralizing and demotivating. They don't have to count calories or weigh food anymore, right? And that's what they had to do before. They don't have to do that anymore. It was not very friendly. It's not very nice around the kids and the family when you're trying to cook dinner. And if you can avoid doing that, then great. That's what I strongly suggest. Now they enjoy going on holiday, work events, going away with friends, going out with the girls, going away with the boys, whatever it may be. And they can eat, they can drink, they can relax, and they don't have to worry about gaining weight because I've given them a system to follow that they know they're going to constantly keep seeing results. They don't have to worry about gaining weight anymore. A very enjoyable thing that my clients tell me as well is now, Lee, they say, I can go buying clothes, I can go to the clothes shops and I can enjoy buying clothes without having to worry about if my size is increasing. Because that doesn't really help with your body confidence and your self-esteem. A lot of people I've spoke to tell me, I'm buying on the internet, I buy online now, I don't even go into the shop because I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to look in the mirror. I don't want to see the clothes size increasing. For me, that hurts me to hear that. And one of my goals, as I say to my clients, is I want you to start shopping again in the shops, to go in and hold them clothes, feel them, try them on and enjoy them. It's a good feeling. And it's a shame that you have to stop doing that. My goal is to make them start thinking differently. And another one is, they feel proud of their results. They keep seeing their results, and maintaining them for the long term. It's not something that's going to change within 8 weeks afterwards or 12 weeks afterwards or 6 months afterwards. They can keep learning and doing what I've shown them and keep progressing. This is extremely, extremely important. Okay, great. So now I'm going to show you basically why so many people are getting it all wrong out there, okay? Maybe you've been doing this as well, and I'm going to show you what you need to start doing to do it right, okay? So you can end being frustrated and no longer have to give up on your goals and having the body that you want and the health that you want, okay? I'm going to show you what you need to start doing to move forward and have what you want. Now, there's basically 4 pillars to reach your goals, okay? 4 pillars that I use with my clients in my program to enable them to make these shifts and make these changes in their lives to start becoming the person that they want to be. Now, pillar 1 is what I call the total body and mind reset, okay? People think they basically need to work harder with exercise, pounding away in the gym 6 days a week, all right? Or even sometimes two times a day, run to work and go to the gym again in the evening to get these kind of results. Because their skinny friend does that and they think they've got to do the same. But let's be honest, who has 6 days a week to train, 2 hours a day to be able to get there and back again at least to get to the gym and do these things? Nobody. So also more pounding on the streets, running, less carbs, starving themselves, and basically eating like a rabbit and drinking diet shakes. People think that's what they have to do to get these kind of results, right? Now this is where everyone's doing it wrong and so many people are getting frustrated and giving up on their goals. And if they are losing some weight, they're gaining double back at least next time round. So basically pillar 1, the total body and mind reset, we concentrate on these things, these 5 things. We concentrate on your hormones. We concentrate on a hormone called leptin, which is very important. We concentrate on your body type. You must have something designed for your body type. We focus on sleep, which is very important because we kind of know when sleep is out of whack, our body does not like it for many reasons due to the circadian rhythm and everything, okay? Now, I'm keeping this video pretty short and basic because for the time reasons, I don't want to be here for 60 minutes and going over it. This is not supposed to be a lecture or a presentation, but I want to get you a basic understanding of what you do need to be doing and why. If you're doing it wrong, this is why, because you're not concentrating on what is right. Okay, so your hormones must be balanced. Leptin, insulin, these kind of things must be in the right place. Testosterone, growth hormone. All right, your body type, you must train correctly for your body type. Yes, that's you watching this video. It has to be right for you. I don't mean Jane, John, Jim, and everyone else. It has to be right, designed specifically for you. That's very, very important. Your ability, your level you're at right now, your ability, of course, all right, and your body type is very, very important. What I might give Jane could be very different to what I give Sarah. And these are two very different people. So the right program type for different people must be correct. We focus on your sleep and also cortisol. All these things must be understood before weight loss can take place. If you're running and pounding away and trying to train and eat less and thinking weight loss is going to happen for long term, no, it's not. It's going to come flying back. And this is why people are getting it wrong. These foundations and fundamentals of your health cannot be ignored. They must be addressed when you want to lose weight and improve your health. It's very, very important. Now, without understanding these things, you're going to feel sick and tired. You're going to lose important muscle mass. You're going to lose your sex drive, which is not great, of course, whether you're a man or woman. That can cause a lot of problems in a relationship. You're going to get irritable around your kids, around your company, your workers, your employees, whatever it may be. You're also, things are going to get very tough for you in life. You can get depressed. And this is a lot of times why people do get depressed. And you can basically get run down, burnt out, and sick. And maybe you know people that's happened to, maybe it's happened to you. But the things I just mentioned before is one of the reasons why that's happening to a lot of people, okay? Because not just because they're necessarily working too much, it's because they're not healthy and they're trying to sustain that level of workload as well as family life. So we have to get strong, we have to get healthy. And as a common expression that I say to people is, only the strong will survive in this life. It sounds a bit funny, a bit weird, but it's true. We have to be healthy, we have to be strong. Because I don't think life is actually getting any easier. As we get older, it doesn't get easier and more softer. It actually does get a little bit more intense, let's be honest. It's not getting easier for me and I'm 48. I'm working harder now than ever. I have to train harder, my kids are getting older, and I have to be in tip-top shape for everything. And everyone, including myself. So if you don't get this right, your body will never lose weight. You must get it done correctly, okay? So pillar number 2 is very important. The sustainable nutrition formula. Now, if you're thinking nutrition, wow, I don't know what I'm doing with my nutrition. I know I'm probably getting it all wrong. Then that's understandable, not necessarily your fault. It's very confusing out there. And there's a hell of a lot of temptation being put in front of us to make it easy on ourselves, for fast. And so we don't have to put too much effort into it. We just grab food and eat it. But there's a problem with that. It's our health is at stake. All right. So food is fuel. The correct amount of food we have in our body will give us the correct amount of fuel. All right. So without the correct fuel, you will break down just like a car does. Okay. You will crave for sweet foods. You'll become tired, irritable, sluggish, and you'll make the wrong choices. That's because you're not giving yourself the right food. A lot of people are feeding themselves like they're still teenagers and thinking they can get away with it. And I'm afraid them days are well and truly over. So if you don't do it properly, your body and your muscles will actually atrophy and shrink. And that's what's happening to a lot of people, which means their metabolism slows down. If you're not giving yourself the correct energy and fuel to give your skeletal muscles what it needs, the body will break down. The metabolism then will reduce because you're losing muscle mass, which is very, very important. And what a lot of people think is, and they say is, Lee, maybe this is happening right now because I'm getting older. Yeah, it's my genetics. It's because I'm hit my 40s. It's because I'm 50. This is a load of rubbish. 9 times out of 10, it's because you're not looking after yourself and you're making the wrong choices and you're not having a strong, healthy body and metabolism. So what we must have is we must provide energy to our body. It cannot be restrictive. It cannot strain our body and our mind and make us feel bad. It cannot be a diet mentality. And it must increase protein synthesis, which means you must be able to eat the right foods to burn more calories. Yes, that does happen. If you eat the right foods, you will burn more calories whilst you're eating. That also sets your body up to feed your muscles to burn more food for fuel. Okay. And also it's very important that you must eat so you reduce inflammation and toxins in the body. And you must also remove sugar cravings and addictions. And to do these things, this means you're on the right track to have a healthy, fit, strong body. All right. The most important part of this aspect is we must concentrate on something that's basically sustainable, because I can't achieve all them things unless I have sustainability. It must be simple to follow so it fits into my family life, okay? And it must fit into also your family life and your work, because if it doesn't, what happens? You don't stick to it. You're going to give up. So what I give my clients is a very simple system that enables them to be consistent, because consistency is the key. Simplicity encourages consistency. Very important. Now, I give my clients and I encourage them to follow an 80-20% rule. That basically means 80% clean and good healthy nutrition, which I show them the way, I show them how to do that, which fits and slots straight into their lifestyle, into their busy lifestyle. And 20% treats. All right, we're human, we are allowed to have treats, but it has to be done the right way. Okay, so pillar 3, we focus on something very, very important: stress, digestion, toxins, and cortisol. Now remember this, stress increases cortisol, and a lot of us are stressed. We all get stressed. Stress is a part of our lives nowadays. You know, stress is something that we all take on. The important thing to consider is, how are we taking it on? What are we doing about it? Are we comfort eating? Are we taking in more stress and not dealing with the stress that we have? Are we not exercising properly to deal with this? There's many different things. Now, remember this, stress basically increases cortisol. Cortisol basically released into the body, and it basically causes a havoc on the mind, on the organs, on the muscles as well. It breaks down muscle mass and targets belly fat. So if you're gaining belly fat faster than ever and you're wondering why, 9 times out of 10 is because you're either eating foods that are creating more stress on your body, or you are simply just taking in way too much stress and drinking things that are making you more toxic and inflamed, which is all different forms of stress, right? So basically, it's very important that you don't have too much cortisol, because it also reduces testosterone. Testosterone comes down in men and women. We lose muscle mass, we lose energy, and all sorts of things, like sex drive as well. And probably the last thing you want to hear is cortisol ages the body faster, which is very, very common. When you're seeing stressed out people that look tired and worn out, and you're like, well, I haven't seen this person for 5-10 years, it looks exhausted, a lot of cortisol going on in their body probably. That's something that needs to be addressed. Excessive amounts of cortisol has also been linked to heart disease and increasing the risk of cancer. So getting cortisol down and body fat is very, very important. Now, environmental stress on the body increases cortisol too. All right, pollution, of course, out in the air, liquids and creams that we put on our body, and like the liquids and creams and detergents we put down the toilet and stuff like that, all create problems due to the toxins that come up into our body. All right, so when we breathe them in, such as cigarette smoke as well, for example. Electronic devices, the food we eat nowadays, we have to be very careful of that, because the food we eat have additives and preservatives, which plays havoc in our body with toxins, right? Our body can spend a lot of time trying to break down the toxins in our body, and then it just forgets to do what it should be doing. The body starts to spend all its time doing that, rather than looking after the good parts and utilizing the food for fuel, for example. So then what happens is it stores the food for fat, all right? So very, very important to understand, cortisol, not good. Many foods around us these days are basically enabling us to hold toxins, and it creates a lot of problems on our digestive system. So think of it like this. Your sink, your kitchen sink, if you're constantly putting waste food, for example, off the plate into the sink, and oils and all these different things are going down the sink, then what happens is the sink gets blocked, right? And as you start to pour water down the sink, the water travels through much slowly, it's sluggish, it smells, and it all gets backed up. This is what's happening to the human body. And what we tend to do more of is we tend to eat more and put more rubbish and food and waste down the plug hole, off the plates. And what's happening here is it's not being excreted as waste. It's getting backed up in our digestive system and our colon, and it's getting backed up and backed up and backed up. This is then releasing into the bloodstream, and it's actually creating more toxins in the body. So then it's basically also going to the fat cells, right? So it makes us more fat. This is not a good thing. This is why people are getting bigger and bigger, and we're gaining weight faster. So in my program, we have ways of actually cleaning the body, giving the body a rest, pressing reset, giving it a chance to basically replenish and refuel and recover and rejuvenate. This is extremely important. People are not doing this. And this is kind of like the reset phase that we go through. in the first 3 to 4 weeks of the program, and people feel great after this. Okay, so there've been a lot of studies shown also that when people die and they have an autopsy, they've realized it's like 4 to 6 to 7 kilograms of backed up waste inside the digestive system. So we actually carry a lot of backed up waste around full of toxins and everything else in our body. It's not a nice thought, I know, but it's important to know. In our body, and we're walking around with this all the time, sitting there. And that's because we're constantly putting more and more toxins and foods that shouldn't be in our body backing up. That's why we get bad skin. That's why we get bad breath. That's why our hair looks bad. We get tired. We start to look older, which is not a great thing. All right. So the body will not lose weight if it's high in toxins and cortisol and inflammation. And this is why, like I say, many people are struggling to lose weight and keep it off. So the first part of the program that I put my clients through is to clean, cleanse, and to remove, whilst making you gain weight and blocking your fat loss, basically much more understandable. So the first part of the program is to clean and cleanse, right? And to get rid of this backed up waste and to trigger the body into starting to want to lose the weight and release the weight. It's very, very important. Pillar 4 is the last pillar I'm going to talk about right now. And this is bringing your metabolism back to life, okay? It's elevating your set point, which we all have right now, okay? If I was to be laying down in bed right now and resting and sleeping, my metabolism would obviously be lower and slower. As I'm making this video or running around backwards and forwards to the school to get my kids or doing some work, then my metabolism starts to rev up. The problem with a lot of people is their metabolism is very low all the time. So they're not utilizing food for fuel or energy for fuel, and it's just sluggish. And it's a very common problem. So we do this in a few different ways. We make sure the body is primed and set up to burn fat for fuel. This is essential to get in good shape. Now, 98% of people do not do this. They are not like this due to bad diet, bad health, a lot of stress, bad mindset, slowing themselves and holding themselves back, toxicity and inflammation in their body. And they're exercising the wrong way for their body type and their age. It's very, very important to do it right. So they're basically wasting their time hoping for the best. And if you don't get these 4 pillars right, you're going to be frustrated and struggling. So what we do is downregulate your fat storing hormones such as insulin. That's very important. We turn that down, okay? And then that stops you from gaining weight faster. We then elevate your fat burning hormones such as leptin and testosterone and growth hormone. We do that in many different ways, such as training, nutrition, rest, recovery, resetting and rebooting your metabolism. Now, I can't press a button and reset your metabolism, okay? That's not possible. But there's things we can do which basically start to rejuvenate and kick it back into gear again, because a lot of people are extremely suppressed in that area. Now you must fuel your body to burn more calories, okay? It's basically the thermal effect of food, the TEF. It's very important, okay? And this is not to starve yourself. A lot of people out there are starving themselves and reducing calories or not eating enough food actually in their lives, and they're wondering why they're gaining weight. It's because their body is straining. They're pulling down their thyroid. They're turning the thermostat down. Their body's natural thermostat is decreasing. And this is why people say, all I have to do is look at pizza, drink a few glasses of wine, and I end up gaining weight. So we must eat the right foods and do the right things to make sure you are on the right track and your body is enjoying it, okay? It's very, very important. Creating a new set point. So making sure, like, for example, my set point is very different to the guy in the picture here that you can see. His set point was originally much lower than it should have been, which means his body is burning less energy and less fuel to survive than it should do. And that's because of, like I mentioned before, toxins and metabolism can be lowered due to bad diet, bad health, and things like I've mentioned before that I won't go all into once again for the reasons for time of the video. But it's really important that you bring your metabolism back to life again. And we do that, as I mentioned, by resetting, setting a new set point and kickstarting your metabolism into gear again. And then the body starts to release, the body starts to lose the weight, you become stronger, healthier, and have more energy, more positivity. And as you can see by the guy smiling his face on the right hand side, you can see his metabolism and his health is obviously very different. So having a strong body with active lean muscle tissue is how we create that new set point, in case you're wondering. We don't take a magic pill. We don't take a magic drink, aloe vera drink that you're trying to be sold nowadays or whatever it may be, or a skinny tea. We change that set point by boosting your metabolism, by doing the right training or exercise, the right nutrition, and by resetting and looking after your hormones, which a lot of people are clearly not doing. You must remember, the more muscle you have, the more calories your body will burn for fuel. All right, so it's very important to understand having muscle, strong, active muscle is very, very important. So here's some things that we're going to be doing in the program. As I mentioned, we focus on mindset. You have to have the right mindset, moving in the right direction, understanding where you are and what you need to do to move forward. It's very important. Mindset is a big part of the process in the program to get you from A to B. Okay. Nutrition. We focus on changing your nutrition. If you're overweight now and you're not feeling very good, lack of energy and not feeling your best, your nutrition, I can guarantee it's very wrong. Now, we don't starve you. I will not be giving, I do not give my clients tell them to eat like a rabbit. I have to fuel their body and make them feel good. This woman, you see a picture here, for example, this woman is not starving herself. She's eating a lot of calories, but she's doing it the right way. Because to have a strong, fit, healthy body, you have to eat the right way. Digestion, very important. If your digestion is all screwed up and your body is not utilizing food for fuel, constipated, groggy, bloated, bad stomach, wind, all these different things whenever you eat, is because your digestion is wrong. Everything starts from within the stomach. And if that's not working properly, your engine, then what's going to basically happen is you're not going to be using the food that you're eating for fuel. It's just going to be stored as glycogen. As mentioned earlier in the video, we focus then on boosting your metabolism. If your metabolism isn't strong, if it's slow, you're not going to burn calories. You're not going to feel healthy. You're not going to feel good. You're not going to feel the best you want to feel, right? So if none of these things before metabolism are set right or in place, then your metabolism is definitely not going to work for you. So when people say my metabolism is slow, I have a slow thyroid, I need to go to the doctor does not turn around and suggest to you, we need to look into digestion, we need to look at the hormones, we need to look at your nutrition. How is all this working together with your mindset? Are you very negative about yourself? Are you not in the right place in your head to focus on everything else? Because if you're hating yourself and not thinking good about yourself, then you're not going to want to move forward, right? If you're lacking confidence and self-esteem. So all these things must be changed to want to move forward. Instead, what happens when you go to the doctor is simply check your thyroid, take some little vaccine, and basically just try and bump up your metabolism. What happens? Weight comes off, weight goes on again, weight goes off again. Now, I have clients come to me that have a slow thyroid. They have this problem and they're concerned, should they start my program? Once they start my program, they obviously have questions, they start the program, they lose 10, 15, 20 kilos. This had nothing to do with medication, nothing to do with the thyroid. It has to do with living healthy again, boosting your metabolism, and training the right way. All right. So during the 90-day coaching program, it's very important to understand this is what people get when they join my program. These people that you've seen in the pictures that I've showed you, they got a lot in return for joining the program. And this is how they end up getting what they've received back. Daily check-ins and voice messages and support. All these things are helping people to move from A to B. It's not just getting a PDF and saying, good luck, go and get on with it. We know that doesn't work, right? So weekly personal calls, basically live video coaching calls everyone gets, personalized workout plans designed for you, your body type and your ability, and also basically fat burning nutrition plan, very important. Now the fat burning nutrition plan is really important to understand that this is not something that's going to be very hard to achieve or very hard to stick to. As I mentioned before, sustainability is extremely important. So you're going to get something that slots right into your lifestyle and into something that you enjoy. This is extremely important. This is not a diet. You also get throughout your time full-on daily support and accountability in a group that I have. Okay, I send messages to my clients, voice messages. You'll be replying back with voice messages. And this is a support and accountability that people need and they don't get from a gym, but what they need to get where they need to be. I also have 100% results guaranteed or your money back on this program. That means you do get results. You will get to where you want to be. That's how adamant and positive and confident I am to ensure that my clients get results. It's very, very important. Now, everything is personally designed for you. That's important that you need to understand that. It's not just something, one fit thing for everybody, okay? And all you need to do is follow the system, very easy. No guessing, no confusion, just results. You'll be taught how to maintain the results for the rest of your life. Plus, you'll be guided and coached by me personally for 90 days through the program. Now, maybe you're looking to make these kind of positive changes in your life, okay? To your health, to your energy, to your body, just like my clients did before that I showed you in the pictures, all right? Now, I have set aside some time in my calendar to speak with motivated people that want to change right now. Now, if you're the kind of person who thinks, not now, Lee, next year, this sounds really good, I'd like this, but I'm not really confident in the ability to do it, and you're not really sure about things, then this is obviously not for you, okay? This is for people that are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Those of you that want to feel strong, healthy, and drop this toxic, heavy weight that you've got going on in your body and start to feel good about life again, feel, have pure body confidence and self-esteem and look and feel great. If that sounds like you, then this is definitely for you. Now, this is an application-only program. I must stress that. I am very selective about who I work with because I enjoy working with certain people. I love my job and I want to make sure that I'm working with the right people that I know are going to do the work. My space is very limited. And, I'll be honest, I only have a limited amount of time to work with a certain amount of people. And, that apply for the program. I can't work with hundreds of people. I'm very limited to a certain amount because I give so much attention to detail. And I make my clients, help my clients get the right result that they want. So I'm only looking for motivated people that are 100% ready for change. And if that sounds like you, then feel free to book a body audit and discovery call. There'll be a link or a button around here anywhere on this page. And, book a time in with me and we will sit down and basically go through what it is that you want help with. And we'll get crystal clear on what it is you want and what it is you need. And I'll give you a roadmap and a plan to move forward. Now, I'll be honest with you. If you don't sound like a good fit for the program, I'll give you some suggestions and some solutions to go and do it elsewhere. You might not sound like a good fit for the program or vice versa. But if you are, then I will invite you in and explain to you what needs to be done to move forward. Either way, we'll have a good conversation, a good chat, and get to know each other. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate your time. I hope you've learned something from it. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And I very much look forward to speaking to you on a call very shortly. Bye for now.